And hello, everyone, and welcome to the Learn a Trade channel. My name is Kevin Tate. Glad to be here with you all today. Today's broadcast is titled EPA Section 608 Exam Updates and Changes. Recently, I went to a EPA meeting. The meeting was for registered proctors for the RSES Association. I am a registered proctor with RSES, and they wanted to go over the upcoming changes to their EPA 608 exam process. And I figured it would be good to share this with you as viewers and to be able to, so that you have the understanding of what the changes are going to be, and what you are going to be expected to provide if you plan on going and taking your EPA exam anytime in the near future. And before I get started, I'd like to shout out all the viewers, the subscribers to the channel, and the channel members and the website members. I appreciate you all. I thank you for your time and watching, and your comments that have been coming through. And like always, feel free to reach out to me on the community section, or in comments, or in through email. But let's get started, and I'm going to start out with the timeline. I have a few clips that I'm going to share with you to kind of give you an understanding on what the changes and updates are going to be. And I'd like to start with this clip here. See if I can, a little bit larger there. So starting here, October to December 31st, 2024. So December 31st, 2024, RSES is going to be implementing these changes. And one of the first changes is they're going to new EPA 608 test exam materials. Okay, so they're going to be changing the materials, the exam manual, and the answer forms. Those are going to be changing. So right here in this clip, this section over here is these are the old manual and the old answer form. Right over here is going to be, this is how the new manual and the answer form are going to look. So this is going to be implemented in January 2025. And they're just telling us that as proctors, we're going to need to only use the new EPA 608 materials. Okay. So some of this information, excuse me, some of this information that's in here is mainly for the proctors, but I want to share the main information is the changes in the um, the exam materials, your test booklet and your answer forms. So those are going to be different. So with me saying that, I want you to understand that if you are currently studying the old manual and going through the old manual, I would say you should look into, contacting your proctor or you can go to RSES website and order the new manual, because I'm going to go through it later, but if you're going off of the old manual right now, it would be best for you to go ahead and order the new manual. Or if you are in contact with the proctor that you have, you'll want to see if they can provide you with the new manual, okay, the new study guide. Okay, again, this is just a warning that RSES has put out. And let me make it clear, because RSES is a separate organization from some of the others that are out there. There's other organizations that provide these Section 608 exams. So and they have their proctors and everything, but this is just for RSES, okay? And um, I just want to make that clear, because if you're planning to take your exam through another organization, that's fine. But for those that are going through RSES, or that are affiliated with RSES and plan to take their exams through them, um, this information is definitely what you need to hear. But they do give a warning: do not mix old and new materials. Okay, answers will be wrong. So what they're telling us is, um, if you're getting ready to take your exam, your EPA 608 exam, these are the old answer forms. Okay, and if you're taking the exam and your questions are coming from this new manual, which is right here, you need to be using the new answer sheet. Okay, so you cannot mix this over here is the old manual, and this is the old answer sheet. So you cannot use the old manual for the questions and then have your answers on the new answer sheet, or all of your questions will be wrong. Okay, so just understand that, and make sure that if you are taking your exam through RSES, make sure that you have this new answer sheet and this new um, questions manual. Okay, so that's something that you really need to know. Again, this is the old edition of the answer sheet. This is the new rendition of the answer sheet. Just to kind of remember it, I always remember these as being the candy stripe answer sheet, and the new answer sheets don't have these stripes. So that's one way that I use to remember it. And right up here, this is a section when you do go to take your exam, and you're going to have your answer sheet on the desk in front of you, and the proctor's going to tell you to fill out the top portion of your answer sheet. And right over here, it's going to say if you would like to be listed in the directory. Okay, so as a certified um, technician. So I always advise everyone to mark yes in that spot, because that's going to help with being able to identify your certification ID, being able to look up any information that you may need in the future. Um, I usually mark yes to being listed in the directory. Then that way it'll be easier to locate your information. Again, this is the old answer answer form. This is the new. and just showing it in combination. This is the old exam questions. This is the old exam answer form. This is the new exam questions booklet. This is the new exam answer sheet. Another update I'm going to recap is your certification ID creation, okay? Because when you go to take your EPA exam, you're going to be asked in the forms that are provided, you're going to be asked to create a certification ID number, okay? Now, this is just mentioning first time EPA testers, okay? If this will be the first time that you ever test on the EPA exam, you're going to be creating your certification ID at that time. Okay. If you're if you've tested previously with the old RSES materials or another organization, you're going to provide you'll have to provide your old certification ID number. Okay, so keep that in mind if you misplaced your old certification card or your old certification number, you're going to want to seek out that number. Whether if you did it through another organization in the past, you'll need to contact them so that you can get your old certification number. Okay, because from your old certification number, when you go to retest, you're gonna need to create a new certification number. Okay, and you'll you'll be told on ways that you can do that, because a lot of times the numbers from other organizations or from the past, they're a lot longer than the standard 9 digits that RSES requires. So it will be explained to you on how to create your new ID number from that. And then they also specify that also provide official documentation of grades if tested with a different organization or transferring scores. So that is important if you've, excuse me, that is important if you've taken your exam with another organization and you're going to retest with RSES. You're going to want to bring your documentation from the other organization so that you can be able to um, show that to the proctor, and then that those copies can be sent in with your new test that you're taking. So make sure you have your documentation and your grades, because they have to verify that first. If you right over here now, if you are retesting and you've tested with the previous new RSES materials, then you can use a certification number from the last exam session that you went through. As long as you've done it with RSES and you want to retake it possibly, um, you can use that same number that you had from the previous test. So I hope that's clear. This right here is just other updates for us proctors to know for RSES exams. And they're just giving us some instructions on what we can do with the exam booklets now and stuff like that. And they're working on doing some other making some other changes in the near future in order to um, be able to maintain their accreditation. And coming up soon, this is another update. RSES exams will be available online soon. This is not this is not the EPA 608, Section 608 exam they're talking about. They're talking about the RSES exams, the organization's exams. So these are such exams as heat pumps, RNAC, electrical, heating controls, and technical institution books will soon be available online courses and online exams. Um, and then they're just the rest of this is mainly for the proctors as far as ordering supplies that may be needed for the test. Give me one moment. So yes, the RSES exams will soon be available online, and now again, that is not including the Section 608 exams. And when they're saying online, if you look here, there's a group of people in a room on laptops, and what they're when they mention this online, this the test will be available to the candidates online, but they will still have to go to a location to take the exam online on their computers. So um, that's the definition that they gave us as working on doing the exams online. So it's not really set for people to do it like remotely online. So you will still have to go to a location, sign in, and show ID and stuff like that, and then you will be able to um, proceed from there. The proctor will walk you through getting on to the page that you're going to have the exam on and stuff like that, just so you have a better picture of it. Right here, RSES exams available online soon. Like I said, heat pumps, R and R/AC, electrical heating controls, and technical institute books will soon be available online. And these are some of the books, the heat pumps and stuff like that. These are all of the manuals that um, are are used currently. These are strictly RSES manuals, and those exams are going to be available online soon. So let me just go back to. Sorry, I don't have these in a particular order, so I'm just going back right here. See if I can boost that up a little. Okay, right here is the mandatory EPA 608 exam is going to have a mandatory testing information form. Okay, and I'll explain that a little more. Um, and this is one of the new changes. The new answer sheets, booklets, and envelopes. Mandatory test information form, only used with new materials. Every EPA testing candidate fills this out. So every EPA testing candidate must fill this form out, and certification ID number creation. So this is where you will create your certification number, and that will be explained in depth by the proctor. They'll give you examples and stuff like that. So this is that mandatory testing form. If you're taking the 608 exam, Okay, you will have to fill this out. It's mandatory, and they're doing it um, for a reason. Better secure people's information. This way, on the old exam answer sheets, candidates used to have to put their social security number on the actual answer sheet. Okay, that was your certification number back a few years ago. Okay, so excuse me. So now instead of doing that, they want you to you'll have to fill out this mandatory testing form, which is going to be returned with your test to be scored and everything. um, your social security is going to go up here, not on the answer sheet. Okay, your social security number will go up here, and then after your tests have been graded and everything, then your this form will be shredded. Okay, so then that way they're protecting the candidate's identity and stuff. That it's just them taking extra measures to provide privacy for the candidates and that are putting their information out there. So you will be required to fill this form out if you're taking the EPA exam with RCS, RC, RSES. Sorry. And again, this is just showing you the old answer sheet. You see up here how it was the social security number, and you put it in up here. Well, now this is the new answer sheet, and you will just create a 9-digit number right up here. Okay. And like I said, if you're going in soon to take your exam, this will all be explained to you. Just going over, give me a moment here. Yeah, they're just pretty much going over the same thing that we were just talking about there. The arrow here is pointing to where you would create that nine digit number. And in a couple of slides here, I'm going to be able to go over um, some ways you can do that as far as creating your number. Okay, this is certification ID creation. Okay, this gets into how they suggest that you create that 9-digit number if you're a new candidate. Okay, you've never taken the EPA exam. This is your first time taking it. You're going to be creating your new certification number. Okay, and you must create a 9-digit certification ID number. And the way they recommend formatting that number is by you using your last 4 digits of your social security number. Okay, so they suggest you use the last four of your social security and the last 5 digits of your proctor's number. Okay, so if I'm the proctor and say my number is 0 1 2 3 4 5, you're going to use the last four of your social security number first, and then you're going to use my last five of my proctor number. So the last five of my proctor number says 1 2 3 4 5. You're going to use that. So you'll use the last four of your social, and then use the last five of your proctor's number. That's a good way to remember your number, and also that also helps make it easier for it to be looked up if it has to be looked up. So that's just a little overview on how you can um, do that number. And then right here is another clip on setting up that certification ID number. They're just explaining again, use the candidate's last 4 digits of social security number, add last 5 digits of proctor's number, fill out on the mandatory testing information form. That's the form I showed you earlier. And on your answer sheet under certification ID. So you're going to do it in those two places, on the mandatory form, and then you're going to fill it out again on your answer sheet. And this is just giving some examples. This person back here, their last four was 2222, and she's going to use the proctor's last five. So that would be 67891. Okay. So that's how you would put that together. And same here. This gentleman, his last four, 4567, and then he's going to use his proctor's last five, 67891. Okay. So just remember that if you're going out anytime soon to take that exam. And then this here is just showing you the uh, a generic social. That's how it would be written in. You will be the one filling all this stuff out, and then down here is your proctor's ID number. You're gonna put that in there. Okay, it's just showing you how to uh, the way to fill that form out, and then down in here you're gonna be putting your 9-digit number. And again, this here is just explaining if you were a existing exam candidate, if you tested with the old materials or a different organization, you're going to need to provide your your old number, your old ID number, and you're also going to need to provide the documentation if you didn't take your last test with RSES, you took it with another organization, you're going to need to provide the documentation. So don't forget that, okay? And when you set up your exam with a proctor, when you set up your exam, your proctor should be aware of that, and more than likely he's going to fill you in on all that information. But this way, you're already going to know about it, so it won't be like a surprise. Because again, all of this is taking effect January 1st. Okay, this is just another example. Um, this person says, I have tested with the new materials previously and am retesting. I made my new certification ID number the last time I tested. So this person is going to be able to use that same ID number because they have taken the exam with the new materials. Okay, and it was with RSES. Okay, so I hope that's understood if you're going to retake any of these 608 exams. And this is just going over the certification ID number must be 9 digits. They recommend it being memorable and searchable. Our RSES recommends combining last 4 digits of the student's social security and the 5 digits of the proctor's number. Students can create their own certification number, but it must be a unique string of numbers. Recommend choosing memorable numbers. Cannot be 1 through 9. Okay, so just remember that. And then they're just explaining about combining the last five of your proctor's number with your last four of your social. Um, Students can create their own, but it must be unique numbers. And then here, if a student tested using old materials or through different organization, is testing again, the student can use the last 9 digits of the old certification ID number as a new certification number. Okay, so I hope that's clear because, like I said, with some different organizations, give me one moment. Okay, so yes, that would be the best way for all of you who have tested using old materials, or if you tested through another organization and you're going to test with RSES, that would be the best way to create that number. Um, use your old certification ID number, and use the last 9 digits of that number. That way, you can kind of have an idea on what that number is if you happen to misplace your card or something like that. Okay, so that should be helpful right there. I wanted to recap that. And another update that RSES is doing is they're going to launch a Proctor database. They're going to launch a database with a list of proctors in all the states. Okay, so that's something that is gonna be good for those who are looking to take their exams and stuff. They'll be able to look it right up on the website, on RSES website, which I will put in the description below. So this stuff is just for proctors right here. We have to sign an affidavit, um, and then that includes us into the proctor database. Web page includes it'll have our name, the proctor's name, the state, city, location, and phone number, and securely embedded email. Our email address will also be embedded in there. So that way you'll be able to, um, whatever state you're in, you find a proctor in that state, and you'll be able to click on that proctor's name, and then you'll have access to his email, and that way you can that's a way that you can go through setting up your exam, whether it's your first exam or whether you want to retake an exam. Okay, and that's a new update that's going to happen. They're looking at launching that in November of 2025. Okay, and right here I'm gonna finish up, but if you have any questions at all, please take down this email address right here. Um, this is the head of RSES testing and training. Her name is Haley Huggenberg, and this is her email. And if you have any questions, please reach out to her. And she's tremendous. She'll help you a lot with anything that you need to know on the RSES testing program. Okay, so I hope that was helpful to you all. I appreciate you all watching. Um, I thank you for your time. And again, thank you to the channel subscribers, channel members, and website members. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.